Back for more Bay Sunday now. It's been a part of our world for over 3 decades now, and great strides have been made, but still there's a lot of work to be done in conquering HIV and AIDS. Where are we now since it broke out in the early 80s? Let's find out. Joining us now is the CEO of San Francisco's AIDS Foundation, Neil Giuliano. How are you, Neil?
I'm well, thank you.
Great to have you with us. Well, out of the gate, just tell us what you folks do.
Well, we are a full direct service agency that provides testing, treatment for STIs, referral for service for people who are HIV positive, support groups, counseling. We run the city's needle exchange program in partnership with 13 other organizations. We'll distribute 2.5 million clean syringes in San Francisco this year alone. So very comprehensive, very large. I've been around now for over 30 years serving San Francisco.
And we were talking off camera, but it's still a big problem, but it's getting better, and it's still at the forefront of something we really need to take care of, but people are living longer.
People are living longer,
lives.
Which is terrific. Since the mid-90s, when the antiretrovirals came into play and people got on those drug therapies, their lives have dramatically improved. And now, of course, the therapies for people who seroconvert today, they're going to be able to tolerate those medicines. And what we tell someone who turns HIV positive now, that they're going to have a full and long life, but they need to stay in treatment, and they need to have their treatment and their health foremost on their minds. And that's for people who are both HIV positive and for people who are HIV negative who may be at risk of becoming HIV positive.
And the numbers here in San Francisco down considerably.
Down considerably when you consider in the early days it was 5,000 people a year who were seroconverting, and then we had very high mortality rates. But in 2013 we had 359 new diagnoses, with a population of HIV positive people at around 16,000, a little more than 16,000. So yes, our numbers are drastically going in the right direction. But the message we want people to understand is that we can actually end this. Yeah. We can actually end the transmission of HIV, and we believe very firmly that San Francisco will be the first city on the planet that ends HIV transmission through the combination of people who are positive being in treatment and therefore getting to a zero viral load and are virally suppressed, and the combination of people now who are HIV negative who can be on the 1 pill a day therapy as a pre-exposure and prevent themselves from acquiring HIV. Those things combined are going to drive that 359 number further and further down, and we'll be the first city on the planet that ends transmission.
And I was going to say the key number is prevent. It's preventable.
Yes, it is preventable, and so all of our work, San Francisco AIDS Foundation, all of our programs and activities are all geared for helping people who are HIV positive live full and healthy lives, and helping people who are HIV negative remain HIV negative through all the different prevention programs that we have.
You're an openly gay man.
Yes.
And when did this become an issue that you put your arms around?
Well, I'm also 58 years old now, so I mean, I lived through the early days of the epidemic and saw friends die and had friends die. And so for me, it's been many, many years where it's been very important to me. Professionally, I came in here to San Francisco 4 years ago and accepted the challenge of leading the San Francisco AIDS Foundation in partnership with the city and many other organizations to that day when we can say that a new HIV infection is incredibly rare, and we put an end to transmission.
Are people afraid to get that first test, you think? And do you remember the first time you were tested?
Oh, I remember the first time I was tested. I remember just almost every time that I've been tested until recent years when the fear really has gone away, but the reality of HIV is still very hard because of this, and this is very important. The stigma remains.
Yeah.
Even though the treatments are so much better, and even so someone who's HIV positive is going to live a long and healthy life if they're in treatment, the stigma remains around this virus and around this disease. And anything we can do to lower that stigma and end that stigma is very important, a part of our mission.
But it's getting better.
It's getting better.
It's
better. Absolutely getting better, and we will be the first city that ends transmission. We're optimistic, actually, that with the new Health and Wellness Center that we're opening in the Castro, 60% of our new infections in San Francisco are still among the gay population, or nearly 90% are among the gay population, and
60% in the Castro. Right?
And 60% we identify at our clinic in the Castro. So everything that we're doing, the new Health and Wellness Center that we're opening up on Castro Street probably early next year, is going to be this conscious pivot from dealing with HIV from the sickness and disease model to the health and wellness model.
We got to cut you off there, Neil, but thanks so much for coming in. If you'd like more information about San Francisco AIDS Foundation, log on to sfaf.org, sfaf.org. That's our show, folks. Have a great week. We'll see you next Sunday right here on Bay Sunday.